Welcome your faces back to Pommyinoz. Hope we're all doing really well. If you are new around here, make sure you drop a like, drop a subscribe. It does help the channel out. And if you want to go a step further and become a member, we're going to do something pretty cool in 2023. We're going to give you some value in that membership that helps the channel out. And we've managed to acquire, for the first giveaway, a Visa pre-prepared gift card for $100. So we're going to do a members-only live stream once a month. Bit of a chat. We'll play some FIFA, play some games, and just shoot the rubbish. We'll draw that one, the first one, on Saturday the 4th of February. So everyone who's a member in the channel will go into it. We'll do a live randomizer draw. I've got something quite fun for that one. So for your chance to win that. So make sure, if you want to become a member, there is different tiers. Come and do it. Join the family. It will be great. And today what we're doing, I thought there's been a lot of talk about Sam Walsh being out. A lot of articles on the media about, you know, driving the agenda that Carlton are in strife. I thought, let's have a go at like doing a rolling 22. This video was really popular last year. Zero Hanger has a really good app this year for doing it. And I thought, let's go through it, go through the lines and see if we can work out early doors what Vossi will do round one. So this isn't the best 22. This is the best available 22 for round one for Carlton. And if you're interested, we'll do some other clubs as well. I think that'll be an exercise, something that I enjoy doing. So let's get straight into it. So there we are. We have a blank slate, as we see. So always interesting, Carlton at fullback, Wheater and Young do interchange. Genuinely on the team sheet, though, Young is named there. I think that's going to be a no-brainer. I think straight away we'll get the spine going that it'll be Wheater in and Young. And obviously we'll have Charlie and Harry. Doesn't matter really where you put them. Do you know what I mean? They'll probably chop and change. It's going to be an interesting one, though, that one. I think the spine there as well. They'll have Cripps as the centre man. And everything is looking gravy. Very tasty spine. And this is what I want everyone to think about. Sam Walsh is a heck of a player. Probably one of the best players in our team. But he doesn't make the difference. Because if you look at the players that we lost last year, only 3 players were available for all game. You've got to take that into consideration that Carlton have gone beyond being a one-player club. So it's really interesting. Although it's a big loss, it's not something that worries me in the greatest, because that spine there should be winning football matches. Anyway, I think next is the ruckman. Now, controversial, but for me, Mark Pitternet is a lock if he's fit. I don't think you can make an argument. Well, I won't entertain an argument that TDK is better. I think it has to be Pitternet. I'm happy for TDK, though. He will be one of our first names on the interchange. And what I'm looking for TDK this year, and especially with this team selection, is float a little bit back, go back to that defensive wing, which really caused problems. It allowed Wheater to be freed up, and you found him. He kind of oscillated in this position, in transition, taking their exit ball, allowing Wheater to float in this area. So I expect him to do that again. The back pockets, a lot of people talking about Boydie. Are they going to play Marchbank and McGovern? I don't think they will. I think Zach Williams played a lot of time in the back pocket with Doc and Saab. That is their rotation. I think that'll be it. And I think on the other one, I think Mitch McGovern has enough credit in the bank. And there was a fabulous article today. You know how hot I am. Them 7 games we had, his transitional threat and his kicking, particularly in that first stage of transition, is so incredibly important. I think the half-backs, for me, it's obvious. You've got the pace and the maturity of Sam Doherty. And I think that makes it interesting. Now, for the wings, I think it's obvious. Blake Acres owns one of these positions. And I think what I'm looking at here is his defensive ability with his two-way running is incredibly important. And that was definitely something last year that Carlton's running, particularly in the 3rd and the 4th quarter, because they rotated the wings. And predominantly in the back half of the year, it was someone that wasn't a winger. Kind of did affect them. So for me, I think Blake Acres is a lock. And I might shock people here, but I think that the other wing here is Matty Cottrell. And I think you'll see Matty Cottrell float in this position. But I think with Walsh out, they've lost about 5 kilometres in that running. Cottrell gives you that straight away. And I think that's a nice compliment. I think when you look at the top wings in today's game, and we're starting to hear what I've been banging the drum for 2 years now, wings are so important. Having a more defensive-minded, having a more attacking-minded, it makes sense. And I think Blake Acres protecting the wing that Sard and Williams are going to be on is going to be so important. Then, I think this is where it gets interesting. I think at half forward, what they're going to do, without a shadow of a doubt for me, is you'll have Zach Fisher as one of them. Again, another mid-table option, a midfield option, and then Jackie Martin. Now, Jack Martin, I would say, will be really having a bit of pressure here because Binsey did this role incredibly well, which allows a rotation with Zach Fisher going on the ball. Other players to look out for there. And a guy that you're probably forgetting about is Sam Philp. You've got to remember, this time last year, it was really highly regarded. That was one of Voss's favourites from training who got injured. So he's going to be one that I'm looking at. Connors is another huge one. And Brodie Kemp, I think this is his best position. A lot of people talked about midfield, totally misquoted. He only played a handful of games at midfield. Did make his name as a defender who went forward. And the forward craft was really what really catapulted him into the top 5 reckoning in the AFL draft that year before the injury. So for me, that is it. This here, I think it writes itself. I think it'll be Motlop and I think it'll be Durden. You've got the real strength there and a real good use. The followers here, I think it's a no-brainer. I think Hewitt will be one, and I think Chera will be the other. And I think that that is a really good complement of side. And I really like that starting 18 there. I really think that's got everything. You've got the goals here from Motlop and Martin. Durden with his defensive pressure, but also can pop the goals. Martin's defence isn't to be scoffed at. I think Zach Fisher on the high forward there, really important. I think you've got goals coming from Cottrell. Blake Acres, decent entry and penetration and defence. I think that's quite well rounded, and I really like that to go up against Richmond. On the Pine then, I think this is going to be interesting because I think Carlton are going to have a lot of options and a lot of things, but I think that obviously Jack Silvani will be in there in some shape or form. Jack Silvani, I think this year has got a really important year because I think this is the only position he can command in the starting 18, is that position. And for me, last year was a bit of a wasted year for Jack in the terms of he was messing about having to do this job. And that isn't his role. And that says to me, with him being dropped and stuff, maybe Voss doesn't see that role as important. But then again, Jack Martin was always playing and that third tall was always important. But Jack Martin there, his versatility, I think, will get him the gig. And Jack Martin's going to be breathing down his neck because I think Jack Silvani, he will be looking at that role. It's going to be an interesting year because I don't think long-term you'll see Jack Martin on the list if he has another injury thing. And I hope I'm wrong, but I just don't think you do. I think the other guy that comes in here, right, it's really important that Carlton have some options. And I think that because Sam Docherty's probably going to play in the midfield, Zach Williams is probably going to get a little bit of a run as well. We saw that in round 23. I think Nick Newman will come into that side as well, just offering cover for them roles. And then with the extra there, I think this is a real contentious position. But I think that they'll go with a tough on-baller in Matty Kennedy. And I think that there gives more rotation because, again, I think rotation is going to be a huge thing with Carlton to really start to game manage. Last year, our midfield had one of the least rotations. And already looking at that list, you've got Ba, who can float on the ball with Hewitt, Chera, Kennedy, do you know what I mean? And even in the outside chance, Jack Silvani playing that thing. But that there, I'm quite happy with. Unlucky ones to miss out in this, Matty Owens, right? He's one of the unlucky guys to miss out. Do you know what I mean? Lockie O'Brien. I just think there for the depth and stuff, that is the 22. And I really like that 22. I think in the absence of Walsh, you've managed to bring in the running with Cotters. Kennedy has really improved his fitness as well. And he's another one that can rotate. And you can see what I've done here. A lot of rotations, do you know what I mean? Because Kennedy has played there. Will definitely play there. Will definitely go there. Do you know what I mean? Chera can go here. His best work is across halfback, remember, for Freo. Do you know what I mean? Even TDK can slot in here. Can even slot in here. I think it's a really nice, well-rounded side. And I think there's a nice little bit of pace in that side as well. Love to see you guys and girls do it. Let me know. Please let me know. It's a really important thing. So get on to Zero Hanger. Have a go yourself. It's really tough. There's no right and wrong answers. We'll do a rolling one as well as we see more reports come through, more training footage and whatnot. But I really like that well-roundedness and the balance. And I think that that's still a top side. That's still a top 8 side, in my humble opinion. Remember, get into the membership if you become a member of the channel. On the 4th, we're going to draw. Someone will win this $100 gift card. We're going to give it away. I want to give back to the channel this year. Show a bit of support and love. Let me know what you're thinking. And until next time, Pom out.